We are back as Jesse and Tulip head to the ancient Grail stronghold of Masada in order to rescue Cassidy. Which they do. And then Cassidy decides to leave, and then Jesse and Tulip split up again in order for Jesse to go on this whole mission, and then it just sort of devolves in a big dumb mess after that. But hey, there's only one direction to go from here, right? It's the Season 4 premiere of Preacher! Episodes 1 and 2. Masada and Last Supper. Hey everyone, D here, and welcome to this week's review of The Return of Preacher. So yes, of course, lots of spoilers ahead. And if you haven't caught any of our latest reviews, do want to tell you about our new quick jump index system. Just take a look down in the description below. We'll have this entire review titleized, codified, time locked. You can watch the end of the review first. You can watch the beginning last. You can watch it in any order you'd like. So yeah, we're back. Kind of an inauspicious beginning. To be perfectly honest, I was not very thrilled with Masada, the first episode, and then Last Supper, also not a big hit. It always concerns me when a network tries to squeeze in the first couple episodes as a 2-hour premiere. It's not a 2-hour premiere, it's the first 2 episodes. You're trying to squeeze this into a shorter time frame. And sometimes it feels like not a whole lot of confidence from the network about the show. Seeing this, I could sort of get why. But, yeah, so it didn't really feel like a big auspicious beginning. Now, our start moment was pretty good. We're seeing God looks like it's the 7th day. On the 7th day, he rested. And he's cool, and he's checking out his creation, and he's showing off his new favorite bit, the dinosaur, which of course already has comic moments associated with that. But not a very impressive creature. Let's just get right to the gross stuff. Just taking a dump, big old steamy turd right in front of God. He can be distracted by a giant double rainbow. Hey, very exciting! But you can't share that with a dino. You can see why later on maybe man and his old image, someone that he could talk to, someone that he could also be impressed by a double rainbow, and perhaps does not eat their own poop. No, please don't. I mean, again, the whole opening was just, it was funny, it was gross, it gives us a side of why God took out the dinosaurs, because they were dumb and pooped in front of him and did a big old poop burp in his face, which, sure, I can understand as a supreme being, motivation to kill. But from there, it kind of devolves. I mean, first we get our sort of flash forward sequences. We get Tulip and Cassidy together, cleaned up, having a little moment, having a little kiss, getting ready to go and do the last big thing. And we get a shot of Jesse plummeting from an aircraft and smashing upon the ground. Very unlikely to survive such an element. It is Preacher, so it could go either way. I'm sure they could find a reason. But they're doing that, and then it's a few months earlier. I hate when they do that. It is a very cheap ploy to try and create tension. That, oh my God, this is where they're going to go. How did they get there? Do they survive it? Like I said, it's a cheap ploy, especially seeing Jesse plummeting from an aircraft. That generally concerns that this is the way that he dies. What we're going to see from here is just how did they get to that point. And in some ways it makes it kind of pointless if you know your protagonist is going to die at the end. Does he accomplish something? Looks like he's just arriving in Australia. I don't know. But like I said, it makes the journey in some ways a little pointless. And that's certainly, like I said, what Masada felt like. It felt pointless. By the end of the episode, we were right back at where we were at the beginning. Here's Jesse and Tulip. Yeah, they're a little bit more in love. They're a little bit ready to go. But yeah, let's go rescue Cassidy. And they break in, they do that thing. But again, it just falls into this rote pattern. Yes, you rescue Cassidy, but Jesse and Cassidy are going to fight again over Tulip. And it creates a problem and conflict between them, so even the rescue becomes a failure. We've got Tulip and Featherstone fighting again. Another great fight scene. Again, another great fight scenes throughout this, but they feel a little rote. They feel a little repetitive. There wasn't anything interesting in it. I mean, again, even Featherstone's reaction, okay, finally gonna finish this off. No, she drops, and underneath her suit, she's got a wingsuit. And flies away. What? And then, of course, again, Cassidy deciding, well, because we're fighting and you're trying to be the hero and I can get out of here all on my own, I'm gonna stay. Why did the door close? Tulip's whole order to girl that got crushed in the doorway there, and yeah, I guess technically could have survived if all the arteries were crushed so she wasn't able to bleed out and there was just a little bit of blood with the pumping into the heart and the head. I guess potentially that could have worked that way. But even again, that's sort of ridiculous. But what was the order? Keep this door open. So why did Tulip open the door and then close it? She didn't even check to see if Jesse and Cass were at the exit yet. So the whole thing just sort of felt pointless. We didn't go anywhere. We didn't get anywhere. Nothing developed. And then we get into Last Supper, the whole kind of escape thing. But even that, we have Masada ends with Jesse getting the dream. No, now's the time. You got to go find God. So, as usual, just splits from Tulip. Oh, fighting a little bit over Cassidy. Does he love you? Does he not? It's just boring. It's rote. First season, we were introduced to everyone. We had the whole exploration of the town, the meat town, and all of that, and everyone meeting, getting back together. Second one, looking for God, traveling through New Orleans, seeing all of Jesse's old stomping grounds, the adventures there. Third season, even though not necessarily my favorite, it had a storyline, Angelville, and had to get Tulip back, and there was the whole selling of souls, and had to get around here. Season 4 right now, I don't know where they're going. I don't know what the point is. And it doesn't establish it in either of these first two episodes. The second episode is Last Supper, and that has... yeah, Jesse a little hallucinating, missing the guys and feeling that he's left Tulip, and at the end, he had left Cassidy. What was up with him losing his shoes through all of this? The girl! Why? He's got the voice, dropped the gun, shoots the dog. That was a kind of a comic bit. You had a repetitive motion. Oh, my poor dog. What's wrong with the dog? He died. Give me all your stuff. Drop the gun, shoot the dog, girl back down to the beginning moment there. Oh, my poor dog, she's died. Okay, you feel bad, you give her a couple of bucks. All right, I can go with that. Wallet, why? Guilt face? Your boots? Don't even understand that. And now we get the progressive. I'm not going to give you my boots. Next shot, she's giving the boots. Yeah, it's rote, it's trope. There's nothing to develop out. Even his whole journey, while ridiculous, the Coptic guy and the Muslim killing each other. Okay, he doesn't speak English, that's why he couldn't, okay. But why did he stop fighting then? It's just, I didn't, it was annoying. The whole thing, and by the end, what do we got? I guess there is some mission to the Masada to go back and get the lighter that we'll see later. That's more time wasting. I wish we had a stronger idea of what really was the point of this season, because right now it's just spinning wheels. I guess you could say the point of it all is for Jesse to suffer. That does seem to be what God has proclaimed in that last little meeting at the end of Masada there with Herr Starr. Yeah, and also big fan of Diet Dr. Pepper. Apparently God. One of his favorite creations. Long past the dinosaur. So that could be why we just have a lot of this ridiculous stuff that's going on with Jesse. But again, ridiculous and pointless stuff sort of with everyone. Herr Starr, again, great to see, but what does he really do? Smart. I like the whole meeting with Jesse, and he's got a sign language interpreter who's deaf and can't speak. Protection from the voice. Okay. Again, sort of clever, but what's his goal? Seriously, to carve a giant vagina into Jesse's head to match Starr's penis? Crazy. And what is it with the circumcision? I'm going to get to Cassidy in a minute. But all of that repetitive circumcision, how is that connected up with Starr? First off, when he's having his dinner, is he eating it? Is it fried? I'm assuming not. Maybe just a pasta, but that made him think of it. So later on, he's grafting foreskin to his now cut off, gone ear. By the way, did love that whole going into the bar and taking over everyone and having them infiltrate and using them to turn. So they've already used the voice on the Grail agents inside when Starr got shot in the ear and all that. That was cool. Also, actually, real quick, the bar, the Holy Bar in Grail, very funny. Does that remind anyone else of Marion's bar in Raiders of the Lost Ark in Nepal? Look, totally like it. I mean, okay, it's been a while since I've seen Raiders, but yeah, that's the whole feel that I got about it. Plus, with the guy calling her Nissa and everything, and I mean, I think it's meant to feel that way. But yeah, putting the circumcised bits on his ear, is he going to do it around and make a whole giant, like, foreskin loop? Why? I don't get what's going on with Starr. Well, yeah, let's talk about Cassidy. Because, I love Cassidy. And I enjoyed the setup in the episode, the faith that he has in Jesse and Tulip. He's telling Featherstone, they're going to come for me. Let me go now, and I'll let them leave you alone. That's why we have you. Yes, of course, he's bait. We all get that and understand that. But he plays the role well, even having faith that he's going to come when Jesse does show up. I love agreeing. It took you long enough, wanker. That's the sort of camaraderie I was hoping we're going to get back and have the team there. But then it at that point, just sort of degrades. Now, he is watching Jesse kick the crap out of people. He kicks the crap out of a lot of people here. Frankie the Torturer, yeah, we're going to talk about him. Which, again, was sort of a fun thing. Just sends over the knives and just does a whole thing. That is a Jesse kicking butt scene, which was beautiful. But we do get that shot in that of, Jesse enjoying it a little too much. A little too into his role here. Maybe that's what sours Cassie a little bit. But it doesn't really matter because, like I said, everything becomes sort of rote. Using Cassidy as a bullet shield for part of the escape later on in the hallway. Again, that was also cool. But okay, he doesn't want Jesse's help. He can do it himself. He has this. But does he really? I think Frankie later on sort of does have a point when he says, I've seen guys like you before, the ones who keep returning. You blame it on bad luck and everyone else, but ultimately you are the one responsible because you think you deserve it. It is guilt. This is the suffering that I have to say. And maybe that is the point of this sort of final episode. But I was even hoping that at least that it would sort of escape and move on. Because we get through the whole episode, he's just getting tortured. It is kind of an interesting subject to have that can keep growing things back. We do a great intro to the torturer, Frankie, giving class as he does it. That was all fun. Even when he gets to the point, puts the yarmulke on and drops down. Oh, you haven't been tortured with circumcision yet, have you? Just watch the head, watch the head. He tells the kids later on, trainees, it takes a while to learn. It takes a while to learn these skills. So there was a little bit of comic idea there, but again, it was sort of pointless, and I was kept wondering, he was telling Frankie, this is how I'm going to kill you, I'm just biding my time, I'm just figuring things out. But it's not in the torture sessions that he gets out. He just gnaws his foot off and escapes the chains in the cell. He could have done that any time. Why was he biding his time for that? There was a great scene when he gets into the urban blight room. I did like that. I like that he didn't kill the doctor, just sort of tied him up. There was no need for it. just sort of playing with them. And just teaching classes, and Dr. Shen, yeah, he'll pass for that. And the realization of where he actually is, that was a great moment. I said, there were good moments in the episodes, just overall, like I said, just sort of felt pointless, because that allows him to escape. He gets his better self. Not gonna do it. Get at the elevator, having a good time, looking, meeting everyone. Yeah, smooth, getting out, all cool. But of course, it's daytime. Come on, Cass. That wasn't planned. You don't have a watch. Or you just tortured at night and they keep you in the cell during the daytime. We didn't really see much night in Masada, to be perfectly honest there. But, like I said, it just, then he leaves and, of course, goes back to the urban blight room, takes the drugs, falls out, tries to sneak it out, gets caught because he's in the elevator with Frankie because I guess he didn't notice them coming in or being there when he got in. So again, interesting scene. Yeah, it's comic, but how exactly did that happen? And by the end, he's still captured. He's still being used as a subject. There's no further point that's evolved with it. So some great moments with Cass. Always are. Like everything else, doesn't win anywhere. And as for Tulip and the Raiders bar, yeah, again, okay. Now she's left for herself. Now she's dedicated with getting Cass. Appreciate her loyalty to Cassidy. Willingness to just accept that Jesse is off again. Again, it's just repetitive. I think we've seen this already a couple of times in this series. But yeah, so he's got a plan to go and get Cassidy. And then again, that was always cool with them and the bartender there, the guy who runs the bar. I actually never got his name, nor remember, nor care. Just called her Nissa all the time. But yeah, he was there when the voice was used and said, "You all work for her." So of course he works for her. He was a smooth character, very cool. Seemed to care about her, but all of that was redirect. The minute that she disappears off, the car goes out, and we never see Tulip in the car. Of course she's not in there. She's looking at the soup, and when the girl gets in the car and says, "Somebody stole my car," again, we know. It was a great scene, don't get me wrong. The car bit was done very well. Simple, again, almost tropish unto itself. Big car chase, get in the dust, kick up the dust. Everybody gets taken out when you can't see. Nicely done, just holding all of the audio and the calls over the radio and having the car periodically come back and through and in and out of camera frame. Nicely done. But again, very expected. All of this just wrote so she could play one of the injured people so they can have the Grail sneak her right into Masada, and that's how she's going to go in and get Cassidy. Smart job, great, lot of time to get to a very predictable ending. Oh, and of course we have our scene of the week, don't we? What's that going to be this week? I guess we got a few different choices. Let's see. We've got the car bit there with Tulip. I mean, that was all very cool. Again, predictable, but cool. We've got Cassidy, like I said, in the urban blight room. I love that. I love the interaction with the doctor. He wasn't really going to kill him, but then he finds out where he is. Chemical pharmacologist. That's drugs, isn't it? That's, oh my God, urban blight. Oh no, I can't do it. Holds on to himself. It was a good scene. The initial freeing of Cassidy. Like I said, loved the line where, "Took you long enough, wanker." And my accent's horrible. Never mind that. I mean, we've talked about all these, so, I know what it's going to be. This week's Scene of the Week is the opening scene. We already talked about. It's the dinosaur pooping. God destroying the dinosaurs. I know, usually, I don't talk about the scene and then just name it later on, but I didn't care about these two episodes. Seriously, it was depressing. But that's the one that really sticks out in my memory. A dinosaur pooping and eating it and grossing God out and poop burp on him and calling down meteors. Explains what happened to the dinosaur. Totally makes sense. Yeah, okay, we'll call it that. Alright, just a couple of small things. One, remember the Saint of all killers and Arseface, Eugene? Yeah, they're still out there hunting down Jesse. I guess the Saint just mad at Jesse, maybe blocking him up and putting him in the car and under the water and all that. And of course, Jesse never rescued Arseface. He's got every right, honestly, to be upset. Even with dealing with all of the being the Messiah for Jesse, he could have told Starr any time last season or time before, hey, do me this one favor, get Eugene out. But no. So, every right to be hunted down. We know they're still out there because we got a 2-minute scene with them. It wasn't even that. 30 seconds? Was it 30 seconds? Maybe? Also, of course, they're hunting down Humperdew, trying to hunt down Humperdew, who was released in the wild along with all of his clones. Hopefully, no way to figure out which is which. However, Starr is a little smart. There's only the real Humperdew was taught how to soft shoe, how to dance. Dun 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 dun. So they chase down a Humperdew. If it can dance to the music, great. If it can't, bullet to the head, throw it in the back. It's clever. It's going to take time, but it will happen. Oh, and that Humperdew scene did, of course, illustrate not to ask questions of the new Allfather. Or even the old Allfather, any Allfather, apparently will lead to your death, as the poor Prime Minister of New Zealand discovered. Okay, the box, I get that. The torturing, was it originally meant just to kill him? Because he's supposed to hold on to the thing. Even if you've got to pee, you don't have to let that go. That's sort of a choice that he made in the box, right? To blow himself up. Also, got to be a really strong box to contain an explosion like that. I'm just saying, while it made a statement about Herr Starr and the Grail and relationships and stuff, the scene itself was like everything else. Oh, though I guess it does illustrate, even with a strong and powerful, if you're going to die, please be sure to erase your search history. It's all that he wanted before he went. Maybe a little bit of strength to hold on to that grenade longer. Just saying. Thank God Jesse ran into a random pilot that not only smoked, but knew about the Lost Apostle, a giant penis-shaped rock in Jesse's vision, which, of course, is in Australia, which isn't surprising because, of course, that's where Jesse dies, and now he's got a pilot and all of that. I'm glad he lived going into the Jesus Desaad entertainment there. There's a pilot coat. Yeah, that was just an odd moment right there, too. Aren't you going to go in there? He's been under command of Jesse. But, of course, at that moment, he wasn't commanding him. He can be of his own mind. Aren't you going to go in there? You're going to help. Why? Because there's a kid and a creepy guy? In a place called Desaad? Okay, but fine. But if Jesse really didn't want to go, couldn't he just told the pilot, just drive us back to the airport? We're going to leave now. Maybe he realized he could get his boots back, and that's why he walked out in just socks. Again, weird shoe stuff going on. But I'm glad that he lived. And, you know, obviously there's a pilot code. And he has control of his own plane to drive Jesse there? Well, I guess Jesse could have commanded everybody else to get off. Still, hold a giant plane like that? It's a long flight to Australia. You want to be able to stretch out, be comfy. Alright, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up here. I know there's a little bit of ranting and raving, and there are a lot of specifics I could probably dive into, but like I said, what is the point? Masada didn't really establish anything. It didn't get us anywhere except to let us know that everybody dies at the end. It's on the poster. Well, it all goes to hell in the end is on the poster, but still. It's pretty much what it implies. So now it's just a journey of how does that happen? Does Jesse happen to survive a fall from an airplane? I don't know. I mean, it's Preacher. Anything could happen. And look, I may be harping on it, but I love this series. I love this show. I'm hoping this is just the rough stuff out. And for our final season, we're going to get some great storylines and some interesting stuff. I just honestly have no idea what that's going to be outside of just trying to get Cassidy out of Masada for Tulip and Jesse flying to Australia. We'll wait. We'll think positive. But that will go ahead and wrap us up for now. Thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully you went all through this entire review. And if you did and you still liked it, you know you can go ahead and hit that like button. Thoughts, ideas, and comments, throw those down in the section below. What do you guys think about this episode? Did you enjoy it? If you did, please tell me. Hopefully I am just wrong. I want to think great things about the show. What did you enjoy the show? What were your favorite parts? Where do you think we're going with this season? Let me know. Throw your comments down in the section below. You can always catch me on Twitter and Instagram. I am at Darren Jakes. Got a few things coming up. Obviously, we are just starting Preacher right now. We have Legion wrapping up, 2 more episodes of that. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. just changed, but we are doing a live stream discussion next Wednesday. That is the 14th of August, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be myself, Rob Stone from Smirking Gun Reviews, and Don Willie from A Dawn of Fire and Ice. 2 gentlemen I have talked S.H.I.E.L.D. with before, so very excited to catch their opinions on Season 6 and what we hope to see forward on Season 7. And probably going to have some more things dropping out soon. Just keep an eye on stuff. You can hit the notification buttons. It will let you know all about the reviews that are being dropped. And of course, be sure to subscribe. Do that by hitting this button right here. And we'll throw up a couple of our latest reviews right here for you to check out. So, that's going to be it for me. I'm D, and I'm out of here. Catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.